All right, guys, so now we're at a pond. Up until I was the age of 12, 13, that's all I fished in were ponds. I had a friend, and literally every Saturday we drove from pond to pond to pond fishing, and we caught perch and crappie and bass. Most of all, we were just out fishing and not getting in trouble. If there's one bait I had to pick that over the years I've probably caught the most fish, is a beetle spin. I mean, you can catch perch, crappie, bass, anything that lives in the pond will bite a beetle spin. I only brought 3 lures with me today. Also a wacky rig worm. It's just a worm that's hooked in the middle. Reason I want that is I want the bait to fall slowly. A lot of these ponds are silty, mucky bottoms, and I feel like the fish live more in the upper water column, so when I throw that worm out there, it's going to sink really, really slow. And then of course, I brought a frog just to try to catch the biggest fish in the pond. In every pond, there's a lot of frogs around, and it's just a bigger bait, and I'm going to try to catch the biggest fish that lives in the pond. But most important thing when you're fishing ponds is get permission. Make sure that you have permission to fish in that pond, and most people will let you. Some owners may want you to let the fish go, which is fine, but most importantly, go ask and make sure they let you fish. You know, I've never fished in this pond, and the cool thing about it is you learn what lives in there. Over the years, I've had some ponds that tend to have big fish in it, and some ponds that had a lot of fish, and you didn't catch many big ones. So it's kind of fun just to go and fish and see what lives in them. A lot of people, when they walk up to a pond, they're going to stand, they're going to stand right here. I know my kids do the same thing, and they're going to throw right out in the middle, right out in the middle. A lot of times I'll walk around the pond if it's not too snaky. I'll walk around the pond and I want to throw like down the bank. Oh, there's another bite right there. A fish wants to like push bait up against the bank. So I want to just kind of throw around the bank, and then once I kind of cover everything, I'll make a few casts out in the middle, and then I'll move on around the pond if the pond's too big and I can't reach from one side to the other. So what do I look for whenever I'm fishing a pond? A pond is a lot like the creek, the lake, or anywhere else. You're going to look for things that the fish can live on, which is like a limb or a log or grass. One of the best things in a pond is shade, and the reason being is most ponds are pretty shallow, so these fish can get over there in the shade, when the sun's high like it is, and lay in the shade. And actually the water's probably 10 degrees at least cooler in the shade than it is out in the middle. And you can catch a fish anywhere, don't get me wrong, but most consistently you're going to catch them around something or in the shade.